So welcome back, everyone. I have Michael Bennett, has been on my show now several times. Michael, you are the owner of Park Grove Lending. You also specialize in something. Obviously, you can do any kind of mortgages and help people with getting some money.
Sure, absolutely.
But welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, what really makes you different, too.
Sure. We started Park Grove Lending a couple years ago. I've been in the business now, it's been more than 20 years. Been doing reverse mortgages specifically for that whole time. My grandmother got me started. She was the very first loan that I did, probably 18 years ago, 17 years ago now. But it's interesting that the mortgage space has really changed over the years with respect to the reverse mortgages. So the government constantly makes changes. There we go. The government constantly makes changes to the program, and so we always have to adapt and kind of figure out where the best portion of the loan is for people, because they'll change things in the program, like how much money is available to you and that kind of stuff. And so,
how long have you been doing this?
Been doing this more than 20 years.
So 20 years.
In Phoenix.
In
Phoenix, yeah.
And here's the thing. This is all new because it's not like it was before, so you have to think of it differently than it was before. We're going to talk a little bit about the reverse mortgages, and for some reason right now it seems to be pretty much of a hot topic, but also there's people out there still that just don't get it, and it's not like they jump on to call because they just don't get it.
Right.
So we're going to open up the lines to the audience.
Perfect.
Also, what I want to do is say hi to everybody. I want you to be out there that like us, follow us, and we're going to be sharing this show afterwards. We've really had a fun show here today. But also, I'm going to say this. Let's just see if anyone wants to have a question and see if they'd like to call in. I'd like to try that.
Absolutely.
I don't normally do that, but I think it'd be kind of fun just to try. And if maybe you've had a reverse mortgage, let's see what your story is on it, and we'll try and see. Or maybe it's something you have a question about it.
Right.
Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free. I guess can you work outside or just here?
I'm in Arizona only. Yeah, we're working on licensing elsewhere.
Okay, so 602-277-5369. I know that I don't think I've ever done that before, where I've just thrown it out there.
Right.
But I feel that people, they have questions, but for some reason, I guess they're not like fast to do it. So maybe by calling in here, we can offer that to someone right now that might want to have a question.
Sure. We actually, just to piggyback on what you just said, we just had a big article that came out in the Love and Life After 50 magazine.
I saw it. It was
Did you?
phenomenal.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll tell you, it was interesting because we really, really got down to the brass tacks of what a reverse mortgage is, and I can't tell. I've had dozens of phone calls from that, but people want to reiterate exactly what I said, and they're like, "Are you sure that's?" I'm like, "Yes, that I know this business, I know this loan." People still, even though they read it and I tell them that, and they go to my website and it's reinforced, they still don't believe things like the bank doesn't own my house. It's like the bank never owns your home, and it's kind of interesting to me. So I too would love to be able to hear from anyone in the listening audience that have any kind of a question whatsoever, and we don't need to take your name. Specifics are great if you're looking to find out exactly how much you can get, or you can go to my website, parkgrovelending.com, and you can just click on the reverse mortgage button. It'll walk you through that process. But
I think I'm going to let you handle this one yourself today. Go ahead. Talk a little bit more.
Well, first of all, what I wanted to do is I wanted to congratulate you on the TV show.
Yay! Thank you so much.
I think
did you see that?
I did. It's so cool. I'm looking forward to figuring out a spot for me to book in there.
I would love that.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen that yet, Carol's got a new television show that she's promoting heavily. So
I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
So go ahead and let's just let you take the wheel here.
Sure, absolutely. And I'm not going to wear my seatbelt because I'm just that kind of a guy. The several things I want you to know about the reverse mortgage. Number one, you can use it to buy a new house. People don't think about from that standpoint. A lot of times the husband and wife are in the marital residence, and they've been in the residence that they've raised their children in, and now that their children are grown and gone, and the home is just too big. Or maybe they want to relocate someplace else.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So let's say I was married to somebody older than me that was in the right age.
Okay.
And we are going to buy a house.
Okay.
Okay, we come to you and we talk to you. What would we need to do that? Because we're even first time buyers.
Okay.
Is that a possibility?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so we're first-time buyers.
Sure.
It took a long time to decide to do it.
Right. Or maybe you've lived with children. Maybe
Right.
there's a lot of people we have that are coming from out of state that lived with their family, and now it's just time for them to get a house of their own. Maybe they haven't been a homeowner for 15 years.
Right, or maybe, so you want to, you're now, okay, I would say that is exactly the same. So right now, again, I'm 60 years old, and I am.
Not quite yet. Not till
soon,
July
10th. But, and then my husband would be 67, let's say.
Okay.
And I come to you and I say, we really would like to buy a home. We don't want to rent. We want to downsize something. We want to get something nice and small, but we want to do that. But we've never done this before. What do we do?
Sure. So two things. First of all, the reverse mortgage is just an FHA loan that has a no payment feature. That's all it is. So when you think about the traditional way of purchasing a home, you find a house you like, you put a certain down payment down, you get a mortgage for the balance, and that's how the entire thing gets paid for. Well, the reverse mortgage is the same thing. It just has a little bit larger down payment. All right. So someone comes to me and says, hey, Mike, we wanted to pay cash for this $200,000 house. However, my realtor has worked with you before and said, gosh, leverage that money. Keep some of it in the bank. Right? The rough rule of thumb is 50%. So if you're going to buy a $200,000 house and you wanted to pay cash for it, now you only have to put $100,000 down. I'll give you a reverse mortgage for $100,000. You still got the house bought, but no mortgage payments for life, and you have an extra $100,000 in the bank that you didn't have to put down on the house. Maximum leverage gives you maximum flexibility.
So our number here is 602-277-5369, and you can call in here, and if you have a question about it, he'd love to answer them. We're just going to do that free. We just said we were going to do it free today and just see what happens.
Absolutely.
I know it's not something that people always come pick up and call about because they're just still...
They're scared. They're scared or they're intimidated or, I tell people all the time, I send out videos now with some of my messages because I want people to understand I'm a nice guy.
It has nothing to do with that. Let me just say what this is. You are a nice guy. You sound like a nice guy. You've got a lot of experience. People don't understand it. It's that simple. It isn't about it. And I'm just going to say I think that what they're afraid of is what's going to happen to my children because that's where it's ending. Not now with you. Yeah, it sounds great. I'm ready to sign on the dot, but I'm afraid my children aren't going to get what I wanted for them. Now take it over.
Right. So what we do on that scenario is there's a couple things. If depending on how you use the loan, again, I go back to this. This is the most flexible loan that there has ever been made. You can make a payment. You don't have to make a payment. You can take the cash out. You can spend it on something. You can pay it back. If you leave money in a line of credit, it's going to continue to grow. So there's a lot of ways to take the cash out. If you're concerned about equity preservation and or legacy issues, then let's talk about that. Let's involve your life insurance agent. Let's involve your financial planner. Because there are things that we can do that will help you accelerate and accentuate your legacy through monetizing equity in your house, right? So take some money out of your house, buy a long-term investment policy, buy an annuity, buy a life insurance policy, do something like that. You can transfer that wealth to your family now, okay? So those types of things can be addressed, but we just have to know what it is you want to do. The other thing is that the loan, like I said earlier, it goes through evolutions. And so they just change the amount of money that's available for a buyer to get, all right, or for a borrower to get. And what that means is that you get a little bit less money up front, but the equity in your house lasts so much longer. So it's designed for you to have equity in the property, and equity is defined as, and I should do this because I had a lady yesterday that didn't know what equity was. It's the difference between what you can sell your home for, right? If you were to sell it, what will it sell for? Say $200,000, and the amount of money that you owe on it. So say $100,000. So you have $100,000 in equity. These loans are designed to preserve and maintain that equity for your life.
So here's another thing that I think people think about, okay, which I want you also give you out your phone number and your website.
Sure, absolutely.
You forgot to do that.
I did. My phone number is 480-227-3238. That is my cell phone. I own the company, and when you call, you'll talk directly to me. There's nobody between us, and the website is parkgrovelending.com.
So, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and if you'd like to ask a question, he's here to answer them if you have something that you'd like to ask. I wanted to say also, I think that people think, well, if it's so good, I'm sure you get this all the time, so why doesn't everybody just do it?
Right.
So why doesn't everybody just do it?
Fear. Number one answer is fear. People are afraid of what they don't know, and when you get to the stage in life, I had an 81-year-old gentleman the other day was a fighter pilot. And the cool stories that let me just take a sidebar here real quick and just say, one of the things I love about this loan is the living history that comes in this loan. When you sit down and you sit face to face with your borrowers and you get a chance to learn about their life and talk to them, I mean, I have learned so much just from my borrowers. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. So,
well, we're going to go to a break.
I guess we are.
Yes, we are. And when we come back, we're going to talk further. Our lines are open here, and you can think of something you want. You can even call in and just wait on hold for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
And we're going to get you on to talk and ask some questions. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. What's your website?
parkgrovelending.com.
So welcome back. We're talking with Michael Bennett. Tell him who you are.
My name is Michael Bennett. I own Park Grove Lending, and we specialize in reverse mortgages, but we can do any kind of mortgage in the state of Arizona.
Tell him your phone number and about your website, because you've got some information on there that's pretty cool.
You bet. Phone number directly is 480-227-3238, and that is my cell phone. I own the company. You call, you'll talk directly to me. And the website is parkgrovelending.com. On parkgrovelending.com, you can go in there. You can do things like pull your own credit report. Now, this is an actual mortgage credit report, right? It's totally different than if you were to get on like Credit Karma or Experian or, that kind of stuff. You can pull your credit report and you can pull your credit score, but it is not the score that you would use in a mortgage. So it's an opportunity. We have a lot of our first-time home buyers go to the website. They pull their own credit. Once they know what that is, then they can price their own loans out, forward and reverse both, although the reverse mortgage is not credit score specific. But there's a lot of great information on there if you're just looking to purchase or refinance. One of the amazing things that we did this week, which shocked me, this is really an interesting week. I did a lot of reverse mortgages, but I did one loan for a couple out of China. So they're foreign nationals. They don't live in the United States. And we're helping them get a loan, 70% loan to value. All they had to do is put 30% down. There's no income verification when you're a foreign national. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then we did one also that was for an investor, a group of investors. These guys, they didn't have to qualify for themselves personally. The property qualified for the loan. So if you buy an investment property and the rent schedule on it is high enough that will service the debt, that's all it takes to qualify for that loan too. Lending is different, and it's done safely because they're low loan to values, not like what happened to us in 2007 and 8. But yeah, and then you can go on and you can do reverse mortgage stuff on there also.
Okay, so what is that website?
parkgrovelending.com. And then you can just follow the buttons on there. And we do have a big video library. There's 25 videos that'll be on there, but they're not on there yet.
Okay, well, they will. And here's the thing, too. We were talking a little bit about how they are different from... Obviously, we know that what they will do for people if you're in need of money and all of that.
Sure.
But there's also some other things that people don't know that they can be used from you for. And you did say, obviously, buying a home. Is there anything else?
Yeah, sure. We do work with financial advisors, financial planners in extending the estate of the borrower. So a lot of people don't realize that the home or the equity that you have in your house is one huge source of untapped income, potentially, and you can use it to accelerate your financial plan. You can use it to build the legacy that you have. A lot of people work hard their whole life to pay off a house, and once they get it paid off, they don't really pay attention to what the value of the home is. So I talked to a lady yesterday whose home has grown. Now, they had it paid off. They bought it. It was $300,000. They paid cash for it. When I did the AVM on it, it came out $725,000, and she was was floored. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it has gone up that much. So what we talked about was being able to pull that cash back out. She and her husband are starting another business. And so they're going to be able to completely fund their business just pulling the equity out of the house. But that's one of the things that we look at. Every single scenario is different. And so when you have a home that's free and clear, I get a lot of people that say, oh, I don't need a reverse mortgage. My home's free and clear. Thanks. And it's like, no, that's when you need a reverse mortgage to pull that money out, to be able to let it work for you instead of just sitting there and stagnate.
If I'm going to say this just because I can, we happen to have a financial person in here right now, and as you were talking, he's shaking his head yes. So, and admittedly so, they're not for everybody.
Oh, no,
and
absolutely.
we're going to talk about that for a minute, because they're not for everybody. And the only way that you know is that if you ask questions
Pick up
and
the phone,
find
call.
out. And I just realized I forgot. So we have our lines open here, and we would like you to call in if you would like with a question. Our phone number here is 602-277-5369. We don't have to say the toll-free because it's more here in Arizona that you work with. So it's 602-277-5369.
I think somebody just called me on my cell phone.
Well, that's cool because,
That's
and that's good because it's okay.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm all right with that. You know, because I think that some people here also aren't comfortable too with calling
Right.
in. I mean, it sounds like it'd be cool, and I know, but it takes a little time.
It does. People don't want to, they look at it like, oh my gosh, if I need a reverse mortgage, you know, I've had so many people tell me that they think this is a loan of last resort. And it absolutely is not that. I encourage you to be fiscally and financially responsible, and part of that would be to assess whether or not the trapped equity in your house can do anything to extend, you know, like what we used to say is we want to help you get deep into life with plenty of money. So if you can access that equity in your house and you can do something to either increase income, increase lifestyle, or help you or expand the legacy that you're going to leave for your family, that's really what we want to do.
So also there's people out there that are like me who had a father who did it,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And, you know, maybe you're sitting there driving and you're thinking, oh, there's no way. I was out to dinner, I think, you were on my show like the day before or whatever, and I was out to dinner and I had heard a table who, they must have had a bad, I don't know what happened. It was no way, no. I seriously wanted to go over there and go, you know, I just want to explain something to you. I don't know who they were, but my father did it, and it actually was phenomenal. He needed it. He didn't realize that he needed more money than he had when my mom passed to go forward, because God forbid something happened, and it gave him that opportunity. He owned his house outright, so he was able to do it.
Sure.
And it was not bad for the children in any way, shape, or form, because like you said, he did do it correctly. He was wise with how he did it. And I have to say something too. Most people that, I'm going to say that like him, when he did it, he had already had all his stuff. He had already traveled, you know, so he didn't, that wasn't what it was for.
You're just looking for financial security.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it makes sense because a lot of times if I get the opportunity to speak with the children or the family or the agents, you know, whoever it is for them, we talk about that. We talk about the fact that all we're trying to do is to use this money wisely to extend and enhance the richness of their life. That's what it is. And oh, by the way, families, this is your parents' home. They worked hard for it. They bought it. They paid it off, not you. So it's yours if they choose to grant it to you. It is not yours by birthright, just FYI. And I've had a lot of people that tell me that are afraid to tell their families. So I'm just mentioning that. So anybody who's got a parent, it is not your right to have access to their house, although, you know, they may well pass up on an opportunity to improve their lifestyle because they're afraid of how you may respond to it.
Our number here is 602-277-5369, and if you'd like to call in and ask a question, you can. What's your phone number again? Maybe they'll like to call you direct.
Absolutely. Call me direct. And the next person that calls either line, I'm going to give you a free appraisal. 480-227-3238. My website is parkgrovelending.com.
Give them a Rice Krispie treat. We've got some really great ones right here.
There's some good ones over here. Yeah, Carol was oversampling a little bit. Just kidding.
But you do free consultations. You obviously have to do that.
Right.
And realistically, also, I know what you said, but for us, I'm a person who did it. My dad was in California.
Mm-hmm.
There was no in any way, shape, or form, even a hiccup, the house was sold,
Sure.
the money was taken care of, and we still got the money because there was money, and it wasn't
Right.
a lot of money. So anybody listening out there that, knows me, it wasn't like a lot of money or anything like that.
$3 million.
Yeah, I don't, and I wish, My father would have wished too, believe me, He's laughing right now. So seriously though, if it's done right, and that's how you're there, and when you've done this with some
Sure.
people, do you make sure, do you talk to them and grain it into them and check up on them and make sure and all that kind of stuff?
Sure.
How does that work?
Right. So we work with...
The bottom line is, folks, just don't spend it, leave it alone, and use it only if you need it.
Yeah, most people don't get this far in life by being, reckless with their money. That's the bottom line. They don't get your home paid off by being reckless with it and, a shopaholic and so forth. So I really find that we don't have too many problems with that, although there's one gentleman that called me. His friend wanted to do a reverse mortgage, and he said, I've tried to convince him not to do it. And I'm like, well, why? He goes, well, because he said the money's just there and it's easy and you just are going to spend it. And I'm like, so what we have is we don't have a problem with the reverse mortgage. We have a problem with you actually being able to manage your finances. And he goes, well, yeah, that's true. But
that's where the financial advisors come on in. Real quickly, we have a minute. Go ahead and let you just ride right through it.
Sure, absolutely. What I want to let everybody know is this reverse mortgage is customized for each and every scenario. No two scenarios are alike. Pick up the phone and call me. I promise you I'll treat you with respect and honest and open conversation. And we'll have a great conversation. We'll part friends.
How long have you been doing it again?
Been doing this for 20 plus years. My phone number is 480-227-3238, and that's my cell phone, or go to parkgrovelending.com.
Also, you guys, everything that you heard today, if you still want to have some questions, you can call in here, and I'll get you connected with him. Maybe you want one of these Rice Krispie Treats, whatever they were. And also, of course, all of the information that was here today. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out on the website. It's parkgrovelending.com, and that number to call him now. The number is 480-227-3238.